Hello, this is Holly. My name is Holly, and I am going to be the English trainer for this hour. Hope you all are doing well and are ready to practice idioms. So we are going to go over idioms by the number, and I'm excited to work with you all today. And so when you're ready, come on in and we will get started. So idioms by the number. So that is the topic for today. Let me show you the worksheet that we will be using. Okay, so this is the worksheet that we will be using, and we'll just be going through and we'll first of all answer a quick question, then we'll do some matching, add some idiom words, some numbers to some idioms, then we'll look at the meaning, and then we will do a discussion on these words. And if there's enough time, we'll go on and discuss other idioms and other words related to different numbers. So that is what we will be doing today. Look forward to working with whoever decides to come and experience English. My name is Holly, and I am a native English trainer from Idaho. I have been teaching English since 1994, and I started teaching online in 2006. I have pretty much most of the time I have been teaching business English, English in the workplace. My philosophy is you're the expert in your job and your field. I'm the expert in English. We combine that together and we can make a good team for your English classes. I do have been teaching a lot of groups lately. I also do teach privates and one-on-one, and I would be very happy to work with you in a one-to-one situation. And in those situations, I pretty much do a lot more error correction than I do in groups. In groups, I'm a little bit more, I guess, kinder when it comes to that. So, hello, Max. How are you today?
Hello, Holly.
Hi, how are you?
Long time no
Yeah,
see.
it has been a while. So I
Yeah,
took
I'm
a little,
fine. Thank you for asking. How are
yeah,
you?
good. I took a little mini vacation, and so this is, I think, my second class since coming back. So I um,
Okay.
so anyway, it feels like a Monday to me, but it's Tuesday. So and it's Wednesday for you though, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Monday. Yeah, Thursday.
Wednesday? Yeah. It's Tuesday evening about 10 o'clock for where I'm at. So I think it's 11 o'clock where you are, right?
Tuesday. It's correct. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday,
Wednesday.
or Wednesday.
Yeah. So it's Tuesday for me, so it's Wednesday for you. So
Okay, yeah.
so and is it 11 o'clock where you are? Or is it earlier?
Yeah, it's correct.
Okay.
11.
Yeah. And do you live over by the Baltic Sea?
No,
Max?
no, no. I'm so far from
Oh, you
Baltic
are. Okay.
Sea.
So I've got you confused with somebody else. So, hello, Fausto. How are you today? Fausto, can you speak? It must be still be loading. Loading. So, hi, good morning, Thayer. How are you this morning?
Hello. Hi, teacher.
Hi.
You hear me?
Yes, hear you. You're kind of quiet, but I can hear you. So, is it 6 a.m. where you are, Thayer? There? Okay, we can't hear you anymore. So, Fausto, are you there? Hello? Looks like there's some audio issues that people are having. So, hello?
Yes.
Is it there?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. So, question for you. Is it 6 a.m. where you are?
No, it is 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's in Iran or Iraq?
Sorry, I'm from
What
Iraq.
country? Iraq. Okay.
Okay.
Iraq. I'm sorry. It's only one letter difference in English, so
Yes.
so I know they're very different countries, though. So, yeah. And Fausto, can you speak yet? I see the green. I hear you typing something, but I can't hear you at all. So I think your microphone may or may not be working. So Sarah, what's the weather like right now in Iraq?
It is not cold. It is about maybe 13 degrees
Uh-huh,
today.
okay.
So it is a kind of hot.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
but we are in winter. I mean
Uh-huh.
the season of winter. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. And Max, what's the weather like where you are?
Now it's strange weather because yesterday it was raining.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so strange for this time. But now
Yeah.
it's about -15, yeah, I think.
Okay. So is that pretty normal? So it's plus
You see?
13 in Iraq and minus 15 in Russia. And where I am, it's 5.8 degrees or 6 degrees. And we actually broke a record this weekend. We got up to today we got a high of 13, and apparently yesterday we got a high of 15.9, which is Sunday, and we broke a record because it's never been that warm on that day. So we're like you guys, we're kind of unusually warm right now. So
Which city you live, Teacher Holly?
I live in the state of Idaho.
Okay, Idaho.
Yeah, and it's in the Pacific Northwest, and so we have all four seasons and so forth, but we always usually get a more mild winter compared to the East Coast and the Midwest. And but we have like all the mountains and all the snow. We get enough snow for skiing in the mountains, but then we have the valleys like where I'm living where there's no snow. So best of both worlds, I think. So, but all right. Well, let's go ahead and get started, and maybe Fausto will join us later. Idioms by the number. All right, let's go ahead and start. Hi, Julio. How are you today?
Hello.
Hi. We were just comparing weather. So, what's the weather like in Mexico right now?
Well, where I live right now, it's kind of cool. I would say like probably 16 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much a clear sky. It's a quiet night, I would say.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, and in Iraq it's 13 degrees Celsius about, and of course it's morning there. And then Max was telling us that it was actually raining earlier, but it's now minus 15 degrees Celsius. So,
Wow.
and in Idaho we broke a record, and yesterday it was 15.9 degrees, and so on Sunday, no, I guess it was Sunday or Saturday or Sunday we broke a record, and it was up in the teens. So today it got to a high of 13. So anyway, idioms by the number. So, do you guys know any idioms containing a number? Can you guys think of any?
Sure, I know a couple of
Okay.
them.
What are they?
Uh, this one was like you gotta go back to square one or
Okay.
something like
Back,
that.
Go back to square one.
A dime a dozen.
A dime a dozen. Okay. Any others?
Um, kill two birds with one stone.
Yes. It's a good one.
Two hands are better than one, or something like that.
Yeah, two hands are better than one. Yeah. No, actually, two hands, I think it's two heads.
Yeah, sorry.
But actually, two hands makes sense as well, but we all have two hands. Hopefully, we all have two hands, you know. The two heads are better than one. Three heads are better than two, da-da-da. Okay, any others?
A baker's dozen.
Yeah.
Mm, one in a million. I don't know if that's an idiom. It's an expression, I guess.
It's an expression, I think. It's still, I would call it idiom. Anything that, as non-native speakers, you guys have to learn
Second thought.
separately. So one in a million, it's definitely.
Second thought, I think something like I changed my
On
mind.
second thought, yeah.
On second thought.
And second thought, maybe. Okay. Any other words?
Once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon. Okay. Any other?
Off the top of my head, those are the ones I can only think about.
Okay. And you, off the top of your head, is a very good idiom as well. So, and that's when I don't know if you meant to say that, but that's when, to me, when an idiom is used naturally, where you don't even think about it, you just say it because it's the best expression to use. That's when people should use idioms. When you memorize idioms and memorize things, and you use them even though you don't truly know how to use them, that's when it comes out kind of strange. And so I always, even though I teach idioms because I think it's very important for people to understand them, use them when they actually come out naturally, like you, Leo, just did. I think it was natural, wasn't it? At least you used it right. So
I'll say like was like 50-50.
yeah.
Nothing comes natural when it comes to foreign language, so you have to like force it a little bit.
Yeah, you have to force it, but when you guys have probably heard the people that will be speaking, and it's obvious that they have memorized it to the point that it doesn't sound right, and even though the words are correct, it's just not sounding right. So, and that's when I caution people about using idioms. Don't use it. Try to use idioms so much that
Yeah,
you're
sounds
trying
weird.
to use an idiom every other sentence or something like that.
So it's all, when it comes to idioms, it's all about timing, I guess.
It's understanding them well enough to use them correctly. So, and some people, I usually say, if you can use an idiom without thinking, it's like when you're thinking of what to say and the only thing that comes to your head is an idiom, that's probably the right idiom to use. So,
Yeah.
so hello, Fausto. How are you? How are you? Did you get everything working? Okay. All right. So let's. What we're going to do is do some quick matching, and let's match the words to the idiom. What do you think the idiom means? Hello?
Sorry, may I ask you, what does it
Yes.
mean, go back to square one?
Go back
I
to square
don't
one.
know.
Okay. Elio, since you said that, I think, could you explain what it means?
Please.
Yeah, it is when you are in a situation when everything kind of goes wrong and you have to start over. That's pretty much what it means to start over,
It's
to
like,
go back to the drawing board. Is another one
Mhm.
similar?
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
To go back
Go
drawing.
back to the beginning.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Yeah. And it comes from board games. If you play board games with your kids, and you have each on the board there's different squares, and if you have to go back to the start or back to the beginning, that's square one. So that's where the idiom actually comes from. So are there any of these other ones that you guys do not know? All right.
A baker's dozen.
A baker's dozen. A baker's. So what is a dozen?
Dozen is
12.
12.
13.
No,
12? Oh,
12. Yeah. A baker's dozen is 13.
okay.
So, yeah. So, and any others? Fausto, can you speak yet? No. Yes?
Yeah, I can
Awesome.
speak right now.
Welcome.
Yeah, sorry.
No, not a
Sorry,
problem.
teacher, because I was able to talk with you, but it seems like computer started to crash. So I needed to restart the computer, and that is the reason that I was not able to use the Chrome properly, you know.
I understand. Been there, done that. So.
Okay, sorry for that.
And no problem, no problem. All right. Do you guys know? So everybody's fine with all the rest of these idioms.
Once
Sure.
in a blue moon. What does that mean? I didn't understand.
Once in a blue moon is once in a while. Every once in a while.
Okay.
So once a while.
Like once a year.
Yeah, like once a year or something like that, or not. It maybe even less often than that. So like somebody could say to you, how often do you go fishing? And you can say, well, once in a blue moon. So it's not very often. It could be once every 5 years. Not enough to really make an impact. So okay. Any other questions on any of these? Okay. Let's go down to matching. Let's match the word to the idiom. So what do you think the idioms mean? So we have 2, dozen, 1, second, once. And I'm guessing that a couple of them that you guys actually said on top, that we've written on top, is down here as well. So A, Fausto, can you read that one?
The letter A?
Yeah.
Okay. Julie is having blank thoughts about quitting her job.
Okay. So about quitting is how we pronounce it.
Quitting. Sorry.
No worries. That's why you're here, right? So.
Yeah. Is having. Could you scroll up, please?
Yeah, it's these words right here. These words in blue.
Okay, is having a dozen thoughts about quitting her job.
No. Anybody know? It's not a dozen thoughts.
2.
Because that would be 12 thoughts. Any idea what that would be? Anybody else?
Second thoughts.
Yeah, so to have second thoughts. So what does that mean? Anybody? If you have second thoughts about doing something.
Okay, yes, I got it.
Yeah.
I think that it means about something like when you are reconsider about making a specific decision.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So, Fausto, tell us about the last time you had second thoughts about something.
So that is
Okay. For example, when I decided to move to here in my current city,
Uh-huh.
that was one situation when I need to had second thoughts about if I want to move into here because I was born in Campeche, a small city in the southern of Mexico. So I decided to move here in Guadalajara.
Mm-hmm. So before you moved, you were having second thoughts. Should I do this? Should I not? So excellent. All right, Julio, can you tell us about a time that you had second thoughts?
Sure, when I decided to change my career field, I wasn't sure about it, and I actually got like cold feet many times.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, it was the right decision, so I'm happy now.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. All right, Max, how about you?
Um, may I say something like I very often like wishy-washy and
Uh-huh.
have a lot of second thoughts
Okay. So you have second thoughts a lot.
sometimes. But
Okay. Um, yeah. So that's another. And wishy-washy is one, but I don't think it's in here. To be double-minded uh, is another idiom, and a lot of times that's when you're going back and
double.
forth and you're being wishy-washy and you're not sure what you want, which one you want. You're basically being double-minded, and then finally you make your decision and you're single-minded. But um,
Okay.
Sarah, how about you? Do you have second thoughts very often? Are you a very decisive person?
yes, I was having second thoughts about my connection because always it is so bad. So I
Mm,
subscribe with 2 other companies, but it is still bad. So I have 3, but it's still bad.
okay, so internet connection.
Yes.
Okay. So you're having second thoughts about whether you should keep the company that you're with or not. Yeah. Yeah, before I moved back to the States, I had second thoughts whether I really should do that. So, um, and I sold my home and I thought about just staying there, but getting an apartment and using the money that I sold the home for to get into an apartment and just staying there. I was very close to doing that, and then I ended up buying my ticket and coming back. So, um, B, Julio, could you do that?
Yeah, I have a question. I heard you
Yes.
saying like you are a decisive person. So
Hmm.
what would be the opposite adjective for that decisive?
Decisive. For decisive, it is indecisive.
In okay.
So if you're indecisive, you're a person that maybe you're double-minded a lot. You just maybe wishy-washy sometimes. Um, Good
All
question.
right.
All right.
We had almost finished the project, but now we're back to square one.
Okay. So as far as pronunciation goes, this word is project. So it's a j sound. Project.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have heard some people say project. American English we say pra, but I think in British they do more of an O sound. But be careful to say the J sound correctly. J. So okay, so now we are back to square one. Okay. All right. So Julio, um, Have you ever been in a situation where you have had to go back to square one?
Sure, the same situation that I mentioned before. That when I was working as a lawyer. I was a
Mhm.
lawyer for about 9 years, and I decided to stop practicing law and pursue a career in the educational field.
Mhm.
And now I teach at the university, and
Mhm.
pretty much I had to go back to square one because I had to make my resume again, and I had no experience rather
Mhm.
than my working experience as a lawyer. So
Mhm.
it was like starting all over again.
Mhm. And do you teach law
Yeah, I
or
teach law.
okay? So is it pre-law or in the law school?
It's in a law school. It's in
Mhm.
a state university here where I live.
Mhm. Awesome. Okay. But you still had to go back to square one, even though you kind of stayed in your field, though, right? So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
kinda.
kind of. But then, of course, it's very different. So, um, all right, Max. How about you? Have you can you think of a project which went wrong, and did you have to go back to square one?
Uh, Now I actually went back to square one because I had s- two refuse from Canada to give me the visa, and
Oh,
my trip to Canada in March uh, down the drain, go
oh no,
down the
oh no. Do you
yeah.
know why they refused it?
Now I try to figure out.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm trying.
As far as I know, they don't really tell you why. They just decline it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah. The only time I've ever heard about people getting refused, for example, in the U.S., they'll refuse single women of marriageable age, probably single men too of marriageable age, because they think they're going to try to come and marry and stay. So um, that's the only time I've ever
yeah.
heard of people getting refused. But
Maybe they think I'm going to move and overstay them illegally. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. But
Maybe.
you've got kids at home. Did you go to an interview at the consulate or anything like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I was going to move and um an interview,
Uh,
but
huh.
It's kind of weird talking about Canada because it's such a big country with, it's kind of, if you compare it with the size of the land that they have, it's like underpopulated. So
Yeah,
you would think that they would want people to go move there, especially to the cold regions.
yeah. That's what I would think too. I'm kind of surprised by that. So, but you're back to square one. You'll apply again, and when can you next apply?
yeah, maybe in 3 months
Okay,
I'll try again.
in 3 months. Okay. Yeah, and on that one, the word months, we actually do not pronounce it like th. It actually is kind of more like for months. It's more like this
When it's plural,
months. Yeah, when it's plural. Now,
three
when it's
months. Okay,
months, so we don't actually say it. We say it's more like a ts instead of a th. But when it's singular, it's a month. Then you say the th.
month. Okay,
Month and then months. And the difference is the tongue for the months for the plural one, the tongue is behind your teeth, and for the month, the tongue is between your teeth, your front teeth. So that is the difference. So, so
Yeah,
hello.
actually, trying to say months with a th sound is almost impossible.
Yeah. So we just don't do it. So the th with the s, it just can't months. It's really strange. So uh, Ahilan, how are you? Hello, Ahilan. Hello? Okay, anyway. So Thayer, have you ever had to go back to square one, or can you think of a project that you have that went awry where you had to go back to square one?
Actually, I don't have any idea about the project, but sometimes I think about my language. I mean, English language. Sometimes I back to square one.
Okay.
But
With your
yeah.
so you go back to learning basic words or grammar and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And Fausto, how about you? Have you ever had any project or anything where you've had to go back to square one?
Yes, teacher, I have. I think that almost all time in my current job we need to. I don't know if I can say redo some projects because, for example, my main role here is it's like a tester, that is the position. So I need to find any bug in the code of any product before they will be released to our customers, something like that.
Yeah.
But we need to set up a proper environment to do or testing, for example. But for example, the last the previous week, I I realized that I didn't set up the environment properly. So my result of the testing was wrong. So I need to back to square. I needed to back to square for that project again before to report my findings with the customer.
Okay.
But that is a very common in my current position.
So you needed to go. You'd have to still use the word go. So you needed to go back to square one, is how we would say it. Needed to go back to square one. So hello, Ken. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
Welcome. Question for you. Tell us about. Can you first instead of tell us about? Can you think of a project which went wrong? Did you have to go back to square one?
Go wrong.
Yeah. Project that went wrong. Did you have to go back to square one?
Scale. Kind of. Yeah. The nuclear power plant project went wrong here, so they didn't get have enough how can I say security for protect nuclear power plants from earthquake and tsunami.
Yeah, in
that's
Japan.
Probably, yeah.
So did you guys have a melt? That's right. Did you guys have a meltdown at one time?
Yeah, actually, government hid that, but actually it happened right after that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the government hid that. So remember.
Hid, yeah.
It's hide, hid. No, hide, hidden.
Hidden, yeah, hid that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it actually did happen because I remember something about it. It's a while back. Okay. All right. So let's go to letter C. Max, can you do that one?
Yeah, sure. I thought this teapot was the rare antique, but they are actually a dime a dozen.
A dime a dozen. Okay. All right. And
it's like very popular, very famous. Easy to get it.
Yes. Yeah. So anything that's easy to get.
Sometimes it's cheap. Yeah, cheaper. I mean.
Yeah. If something's a dime a dozen, the price is much lower than if something is rare. So, yeah.
For example, if in my city we have a lot of Mm, how can I say? Shop. May I say the shop? The shop in my city is a dime a dozen.
Yeah, well, not
But
the
it's
shop.
strange, yeah.
Depends on what kind of shop. So, say for example, um, um, grocery stores in our city are a dime a dozen. They're all the same.
Okay.
Okay, so it
Okay.
depends. You can't say shops. You'd have to say a kind of shop. So, a clothing
Yeah, I
store.
thought about it, but nothing comes to mind.
Yeah.
What kind of shop?
Yeah. Yeah, but normally when you talk about a dime a dozen, though, you're really talking about a, a product, something that you can actually touch. Um, you know, and one thing I'm thinking about in your country, back when I was a kid, I had heard that getting blue jeans in Russia was very rare. Is that true?
I think for
In the
now it's
Soviet
a
Union.
dime a dozen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But back in the 70s and before that, it was harder to get, and so but now it's a dime a dozen
I
getting blue
wasn't was
jeans.
I wasn't born.
Oh, okay. I just
I
I
don't know.
just remember hearing about Americans who would go to the Soviet Union and they would take several pairs of extra pairs of jeans, but specifically blue jeans to barter with. So I don't know if it's true or not. So let's go to letter D. Thayer, could you do that one? Thayer, are you able to speak? Okay, I know he's having problems with his internet because he said he was. So, okay, can you do letter D? Hello? Ken? Hello?
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay, so it's
Me
not
too.
me. Okay, it's not me. Fausto,
Okay,
can you
sure.
speak? Okay, can you do number D?
Okay, sure. Tom only exercises once in a blue moon.
Okay, all right. And then I guess Ken, can you speak yet? Okay. There, can you speak? They've either walked away, but usually Ken will write BRB. So anyway, Julio, can you do letter E?
I'm of mm, minds about whether to go abroad this Christmas or not. I'm of two minds
Mm-hmm.
about whether to go abroad this Christmas or not.
Mm-hmm. I have two minds about whether to go to Brad this Christmas, which is also the same as double-minded. It's just a very similar idea. So you have two ideas and you can't decide which one that you're going to be doing. So, so which one is very common and therefore not valuable? Max?
A dime a dozen.
Yep. A dime a dozen. Return to the beginning. Fausto?
Okay, go back to square one.
Yes.
It also can be used without go.
Yes, but the way you were using it, you need to have go. The
We
way
are
when
back
you,
to square one.
yeah, you can say
Okay.
back to, but in the sentence that you had, you needed to have go. So the way you used it. Julio, number 3. Be unable to decide about something.
Be of two minds.
Yes. Minds. Okay. And Max, be worried about after deciding to do something.
After deciding. Second thoughts?
Yes. To have second thoughts.
After deciding to do something. It means I decided and after that
Yeah.
I think maybe I decided wrong. In a wrong way.
Okay. No.
No?
It's after you've made a decision, then you wonder if your decision is right. For example, when I decided to move back to the States, I decided in May of 2009. In March of 2009, if somebody asked me if I was going to move back to the States, I would have said no, absolutely not. And in May of 2009, somebody said, Holly, why are you still there? Why don't you move back? And so I decided to move back. I put my home on the market, and I said I would move 30 days after I sold my home. 2 weeks later, my home was sold, and I started having second thoughts. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Because I had been in Finland for 11 years by then. So that's when you've already made this decision. You've already actually made the steps towards that decision, and then you start wondering, am I doing it right? A lot of people will have second thoughts maybe before they get married. You've already asked the woman, you've planned the date, you have all the details of the wedding, and then you start having second thoughts.
It's some kind of cold feet. To
Yes.
get cold feet?
Yes, to get cold feet is to have second thoughts, absolutely. So
Okay.
to get cold feet is a little bit even stronger than having second thoughts. So yeah. Okay. And the last one, very occasionally. Which one is that one? Anyone?
Once in a blue moon.
Once in...
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's fill in the spaces here, and then we'll discuss these. I've already asked some of these discussion questions, but I thought maybe we'd finish this first and then do the discussion questions. So, Ken, you're back?
Yes, I'm back.
I thought it was kind of funny, at least in my viewpoint. You're on the left-hand side, and Thayer is on the right-hand side, and both of you. I thought, wow. So, can you do number one? Fill in the spaces using an idiom from the list above. So, one of these idioms right here.
Lucy blank after she accidentally deleted the file. Lucy, 2 mind seconds after she deleted the file. Lucy is go back to square one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and this one is instead of go, you can say Lucy went back or Lucy going back, but this one is just Lucy went back.
Went back.
No, wait. Lucy is back to square one.
It's back.
There are times that you can use go or went, and there's times you don't have to. So, all right, Fausto, can you do number two?
Okay, I am about whether to move house or not. Okay. I am having second thoughts about whether to move house or not.
So second thoughts is after you've already made the decision. So.
So if that is not the correct answer, I think that we'll be able to decide about that one. I am two minds.
Yeah. So I am of two minds.
Okay, I'm of two minds. Okay.
Yeah. Now, of these ones, a dime a dozen, back to square one, to be of two minds, to have second thoughts, and once in a blue moon, I would say to be of two minds is probably the least known of all of them. And for your information, all the rest of them are very, very common. So, all right, Julio, Peter.
Peter is Where is there? Peter is having second thoughts about getting married next month.
Mm-hmm.
Next month.
Month, yeah. Okay, and then Max, number 4.
Jim can only afford to drink ch champagne.
Cham okay, champagne.
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 So this G is silent right here. Champagne.
Champagne. I'm very often heard this word, but never
Never see
seen
it.
this.
Yeah,
Champagne.
champagne.
Yeah. Jim can only afford to drink champagne once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon. Have you guys ever heard somebody speak English based on phonetics? Like, or in this, like, you speak English based on your own language's way to pronounce.
Oh, sure, of course.
I mean,
Yeah.
Spaniards. Spaniards, they tend to like they don't want to give away their accent.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have very strong accent and they like very proudly speak with English with a Spanish accent and they don't care. I think
It,
that's cool.
it, in
Mm.
Finland, they did it as a joke. So they would say, "Jim can only afford to drink champagne
Uh-huh.
once in a blue moon." So, they would just completely, and it was really funny. People could be completely fluent in it, but they would do it as a joke. So,
Hmm.
but the Spaniards Spaniards try to speak English, and they want to keep the Spanish accent.
Hmm.
Mm. Not only Spanish people, I think that Indian people, oh my gosh, that is incredible that they are mixing a strong native accent with British English. So
Uh-huh.
that weird combination is very difficult try to catch, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I always.
For example, sorry, because I think that it's not Indian people here. I need to
Mhm.
respect them, but for example, if they say something like Jim can only afford to drink champagne.
Uh-huh.
It
Yeah.
do, oh my gosh, it's so flat.
Mhm.
That kind of accent is very complicated to understand.
Mhm. One of the things that I've learned to do, and if somebody has a really strong accent, you ask them to slow down. Can you slow down a little bit? And it might become easier because then the accent, when they slow down their speaking, the accent isn't as strong. I don't know if you guys have noticed that when you ask if when you ask somebody to do that. And most people will try. They're not very good at it though. So especially if they naturally speak fast. But all right. Anyway,
Mhm.
Ken, can you read number 5?
Uh, people with my skills are dime a dozen. I
Mm-hmm.
think I should learn another foreign language.
Yeah. So what foreign language are you going to learn
English.
besides English?
No,
That's a dime a
nothing.
dozen. So I think you should learn Swedish.
Swedish are hard, very difficult.
Is it? No, it's actually easier than Finnish actually, because because it's part of the Germanic languages. So if you have learned German, you can learn Spanish really. I mean, excuse me, Swedish really easy. So
I learned French a bit in the university, but I almost forgot.
me
I just
too.
memorized the dialogue only. So,
I studied
for the
I
test.
studied I studied French in my first year of college because I heard that if you take a foreign language for 1 year, you don't have to take math for the
Mhm.
general requirements. So that's what I did. So.
Yeah, send me the second language is mandatory in the curriculum. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I have I had two options, German and French, but I heard German's teacher is very strict to so almost students cannot get credit so easily. So definitely I chose French
Yeah.
for that reason. So,
I studied Japanese in graduate school, and they told me that I should probably study French because that was the language I had studied before. But the Japanese teacher was one of the best teachers in the foreign language department. And so I decided I would never learn Japanese in one semester, but I could at least learn some teaching techniques. So I wanted to learn about her teaching methods, so that's why I stayed in her class. So, but I don't remember. All I remember about taking Japanese classes standing up and then giving a speech one time. That's all I remember. So, all right. So how about the rest of you? Have you guys learned any other languages? Julio?
Well, I'm currently learning Italian.
Italian?
Yeah.
Are you learning through Verbling or?
I'm learning with online program, and I also have a couple of friends that are from Italy,
Awesome.
and I'm trying to learn. I think it's very similar to Spanish. I mean, even the pronunciation is very, very similar, and it's a regular language, so you don't have to learn two or three vowel sounds for each vowel. You just have to learn one, and that's always a plus.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing about Finnish that I liked. So how about you, Fausto? Have you ever studied any other languages besides English? Fausto?
Yes, teacher. No, in my case, I don't think so. I think that I prefer uh, to improve my English skills because that is my current need in my job. But sometimes I am trying to learn indie reading or basic level or something like that because that is a little complicated to learn. I think that this skill in a Mexican people is a little strange.
No. What are you learning? What specifically?
Okay, Hindi, specific Tamil.
Oh, Hindi. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes,
So
Hindi.
are you working with a lot of people from India in your job?
Yeah. So that is the reason that I'm started to talk with them in a basic level, sorry, in Hindi, specifically in Tamil because they are from Chennai. And that place only speak English and Tamil.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's very complicated to learn the writing way because they are right to from right to left. So since that is a little complicated because it's very different to us, you know.
Yeah, it's like Arabic. They also learn. They also read the other way too. It's interesting. So, yeah, Max, how about you? Have you learned any other foreign languages?
Actually, I didn't, but I was thinking about Spanish. Maybe down the road. I'll try.
Yeah. That's the language I'm going to go for as well, and I'm thinking eventually, as I have time, um, to study actually here on Verbling, some Spanish and so forth, and the reason, my motivation though, is because my two nephews and niece were adopted, and they are ethnically Mexican American. And so, and this area though also is I would say in my part of the U.S. or my part of the county that I'm living in is half Hispanic, so that's makes sense for me to learn Spanish. So yeah, and you, Leo, I understand. I was very disappointed too. So, So everyone, we both have a common TV show called 4400. If you like sci-fi, that's a good show to watch.
Mhm.
So Netflix, it's currently on Netflix if you have access to Netflix. So Ken, do you guys have Netflix yet in Japan?
Not yet, but it was it is rumor, not rumor, but it's on the news.
Uh-huh.
They will release the service maybe next year or maybe, but it's not it was not confirmed. It has not
Uh-huh.
confirmed yet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Max, do you have it yet in Russia?
Netflix?
Yeah.
Netflix?
It's a stream. It's a
Yeah,
company where you can stream movies.
yeah, I know what. No, we don't have. All movie what we watch, they translate in Russian.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's
We don't have any channel in English or so on.
Mhm.
It's
So
very strange for me because it would be help to to people learn.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's one of the I think that one of the reasons that the Scandinavian countries are actually quite good at languages because, for example, they'll have a TV show from Germany, and on their TV it will be in the regular German language with Finnish subtitles or Swedish subtitles, and that's actually how I used to practice my Finnish. I would watch a German TV show about a police dog called Rex, and I would read it in Finnish. So it was a great practice. So, and for them, of course, they would use it for listening. I was using it for reading, but anyway, let's go down to this discussion. So tell us about some things you only do once in a blue moon. So Ken, what's something that you do only once in a blue moon?
Actually, to maybe travel nowadays. I really go travel nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Okay, traveling. So you used to do it more often, but now you do it once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Fausto, how about you? What are things that you do only once in a blue moon?
Mhm. Going to the church.
Going to church every 5 years, right? On New
And
Year's.
and special events like weddings or this kind of stuff, you know.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Julio, how about you? What is something that you do only once in a blue moon?
I guess going to the beach. Even though I live like 2 blocks away from the beach, like when you spend your entire life living in a town that is just by the sea, you just don't
Uh-huh.
feel attracted to go and swim at the beach anymore. You just like to see it, but you don't want to like get in the water.
Uh-huh. So you'll go to the beach, but you probably won't swim there. So swimming at the beach. You'll
Hmm.
drive by the beach and stuff like that. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
And for those of us who are not raised or not living close to that, that's really hard for us to comprehend. So,
Yeah, there
yeah.
are some people that like sometimes they visit my hometown and they see the beach, I mean the ocean for the first time,
Uh-huh.
and they're like just gawking at the ocean and we just don't understand, like locals don't understand how they can be so amazed when
Hmm.
they see the ocean. But I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of an outstanding view, right? For somebody that has never seen it in flesh.
That's true. Yeah. And it's also snow for people who've never seen snow before. When the first time they see it,
Yeah.
they're blown away. So,
I,
um,
I've never seen the snow, so maybe that's gonna be my case if I see it
yeah,
someday.
when you go maybe go up to Canada or the northern part of the U.S. during, or Russia during the winter months, you'll be amazed with snow and a dark winters. So, Max, how about you? Is there anything that you do once in a blue moon?
Mm. While we were talking, nothing comes to mind. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay. All right.
What I do
So,
so rarely. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for your participation, and I hope you learned some new words and so forth, and idioms, of course. And I'll see you again in another class. Thank you. Bye.
Take care, Holly.
Thank you very
Thank you.
Thank you.
much.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
See ya.